What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts, Spider, and I am joined by Mr. VIP, Frankie Washington. How are you doing today, sir?
Infinitely awesome as always, about as cool as a polar bear's toenails that's not in hell. He's in heaven, I guess. If he died, I don't know.
Why do you have to die?
I am. Well, how else can polar bears get to heaven?
Well, why you gotta be in heaven? If
You want them in hell?
I want the polar bear on Earth. I want the polar bear to live.
Then you should stop polluting the oceans. How are you, sir?
You know what? We didn't think that this episode was going to be about climate change, but game changer, we're talking about global warming.
Let's go. Let's save the Earth. That's what I'm talking about. Make sure you recycle your plastics.
Yes, absolutely. Let's save the planet. We don't know how long we got, but that's not what this episode is about. This is All Things Super, where every week we take a piece of super-powered movie, trailer. We're going to do a trailer today. If you notice, when we have this layout going on the video, this means that we are reacting to a trailer today. But we take that, we watch it, we review, we break it down, and we ask the question, is it super?
It's a simple question. Is it? Is it super?
Well, we're going to find out. But if you like that, you can subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that go out. If you want the audio version, you can just search for All Things Super, find the audio version on all of your major podcast streaming services, and you can join in on the conversation by tweeting at us at ATSuperPod.
I suggest that you guys do that because we like reading the comments.
Absolutely. Absolutely love reading comments.
Twitter, comments under here, either way, it works.
But if you've clicked on this thumbnail, you know that we have...
You already know.
You already know. So...
I don't know what's going on with that right there.
It's a New Orleans thing. If you know bounce,
no, it's not. Hey! I will not disrespect Frida like that. I already know.
But so if you clicked on the thumbnail, you know exactly what we're reacting to today. We are reacting to the brand new trailer. Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson, Jonathan Majors.
Back at it again.
Jonathan Majors with his swole ass. Have you seen those pictures of Jonathan Majors? Dude is ripped.
Yes, I'm waiting for him and Chris Hemsworth to go at it with each other.
Ooh, they need to have a flex off. Just be like, you ain't got it like I got it. Kang is coming. But this is not the MCU. This is Creed 3. Creed 3, the third installment of the Rocky Balboa franchise. We're in it. We're in it. Creed is setting off on his own. But
goddamn right. Hey, now isn't this the one that Michael B. Jordan directed?
I believe so.
This is his directorial debut, right?
That I don't know.
Well, while we watch this, we'll get into the nuances of the information some other time, and we'll let you know.
Yeah,
but this is our reaction video because we have not seen this trailer.
Nope,
so these reactions are 100% organic, authentic, and y'all know us. We don't do scripts on this show, so everything that you get is real. Let's go.
I spent the last 7 years of my life.
Yeah. Sorry.
Rocky. My dad.
Here we go.
On their shoulders.
He got his own gym now? Okay.
Hey, my man, can I help you?
Let me get an autograph.
Nah, I ain't signing the autographs, but you get off my car.
You don't remember me, huh?
Uh-oh.
Damien. How long were you locked up?
18 years, bro. Just got out last week.
Glad to have you back out, huh?
I know I've been away a long time, but I kept myself in shape. I still got gas in the tank.
Come by the gym. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Called it.
What happened with you two?
Oh, he didn't tell you. We was like brothers.
And you took the fall for him.
Man, I never got a chance to prove that.
That's cute.
Okay. Okay.
We got a temper.
You don't owe this nothing. Damien's fighting the world and he's trying to hurt people.
I vouch for you. You think you mad? Try spending half your life in a cell. Watching somebody else live your life. I'm coming for everything.
Okay.
You threatening me?
Here we go.
Going on with you.
Damien was like family.
That you look mean. No, we passed.
Let's
Then maybe
go.
we just have to find out.
Do what I gotta do. Some of my methods you might disagree with me. These are family ties. I recognize mine. I know that they needed me. It's traumatic stress. Watch it manifest. Got my only.
Such a relatable story.
Right.
Did you hear me yet? What you gonna do? Threaten to take my breath?
I like that they took it here.
Fear. Let go of the guilt. Let go of whatever was and walk into what is.
I feel those chains are breaking, yeah. I fear God, I don't fear death. I see those strings and take a step.
Oh, we're into a slugfest.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, buddy.
March 3rd.
March
3rd.
Listen, you are looking at two guys that's killing their careers right now in the acting game.
Right.
Tessa Thompson, who's always killing it in everything she touches. And you got legacy in this. You got, I mean, he clearly says it. It's built on the shoulder. Just like, and I'm going to reference this from across universes, just like Killmonger was saying, he did all these things because he had a goal to get to this point. And I think we're looking at Jonathan Majors' character do the exact same thing, have that chip on his shoulder,
right,
and have it be a driving force. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think this is going to go the way that people want it to go. And I'm saying that prefacing Creed 2, because if you guys remember Creed 2, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Or mini since we're doing the trailer reaction. If you haven't seen Creed 2, you might want to stop the video now and go and watch it, because I don't want to spoil it for you. You time to click off. He's leaving nothing to question. This is not a situation that is going to the judges. He's going in there with the intentions to hurt Adonis. He's going in there to take his name, not just his fortune, but his legacy, and say, I'm better than you. I took this rap for you, because clearly that's what they're saying. It should have been you that went to jail versus me going to jail. And this life that you have is because of me, which is a very compelling story. Maybe the reality for a lot of other individuals that lived it.
Right.
And now he has the opportunity to come and take what he feels is rightfully his. I would not be surprised if there's a situation he might even try to, hit on Tessa Thompson.
No, I wouldn't be surprised about that at all.
Because you're looking at Drago's son. We don't know how many fights he's had since then, but clearly he's come up in some financial, fortunes. And Jonathan Majors' character clearly feels some kind of way, and he wants his. So it's psychological, because when you're fighting, just like he's saying right here, I need you to take all that and put it on the side, or take that and use it. When you're fighting, you have to be in the right frame of mind. And if you're distracted, you're going to be either getting carried out of the ring, or you're gonna be laid out on the mat.
Right.
You got to be super focused, and just the psychological games that's in his mind right there. How can you beat this opponent when you feel like, should you beat him? Because even if you don't beat him, it takes nothing away from your manhood. You still get your purse. You still keep fighting. It's a win, but clearly it's much more than that. This is deep. This is rooted. This is childhood. This is anger. This is frustration. This is going to be a nice one. I'm ready. Creed 3, March 3rd, 2023. Let's go. Spider, what you think about it? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think that everything you said makes a whole lot of sense. I think that maybe with the upcoming or the origin of this rivalry is going to be is that they both got popped for whatever it was that they were doing. But I think since Donnie was probably a little bit younger, he got sent to juvie because we saw in the first Creed, we saw that Donnie was in juvie. Donnie wasn't in jail, and so I think that Damien, being a little bit older, probably got tried as an adult, got sent to prison. So I think that that might have had something to do with why Damien is so bitter about how Adonis got like preferential treatment over him going to jail and he being locked up. And because of Felicia Rashad's character getting Donnie out of juvie and him going to live with her, you know, and then coming up under her, then being taken under Rocky's wing and all this other kind of stuff, being the son of Apollo Creed and living this legacy now Damien is pissed because he said he was always better. Damien said he was always better than Donnie. And so that should have been his life. Right. So yeah, just like you said, you know, it's all going to come to a head because he's like, everything that you have should have been mine, so I'm going to take it from you. And I'm just looking.
Imagine somebody telling you that. They telling you I'm coming, and then you already seen what he's doing in the ring to some other guys. Maybe some guys that are not as good as you, or maybe they are better than you. And that again, gotta play with your mind. It's psychological. It's like, this guy is coming, and what's he gonna do? Is he gonna fight dirty? Is he gonna fight clean?
And like you said, you know, you gotta let go of that past because like he said, whatever you feel like you owe to him, whatever you feel like you have in your past, whatever connection, you gotta let that go. Because if you're trying to take this moral high ground, it's like, I'm not gonna go all out because
he's gonna eat you alive.
He's gonna tear you apart. So here's my question: we have this scene right here. We saw that Donnie was standing by his dad's grave. Well, we see his dad's grave, but we see he's in the cemetery. Obviously, this is a funeral because you don't wear a suit just to go visit your dad's grave. Do we see the death of Rocky Balboa?
Yes, because they have to reference it, and at no point in time do I see Sylvester Stallone in this movie.
Right. I don't think he's in it at all.
Well, we already seen in the previous previous Creed, that he was fighting some cancer. Mm-hmm. And he was already older. He already had kind of beat it. So it's not hard to accept the fact that they would put him to rest as a champion. It's life. It's a story. It makes sense. It falls into the characteristics of the show, of the movie, and we have to move on. So that's even worse, quite honestly, because you don't have your mentor to come to talk about these things with. You don't have somebody that you can confide in to say, hey, how do I handle this situation? Right. And quite honestly, I would think that Rocky, or Sylvester Stallone's character of Rocky, or Sylvester Stallone himself, would tell him not to take the fight.
Right.
He was telling him to talk about it.
Yeah.
And work it out, because as you've seen in the first Creed, Rocky was kind of like not into fighting anymore. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this, a lot of training, a lot of mental fortitude, a lot of conditioning.
And from the looks of it, it looked like Donnie opened up his gym, and it looked like, for the most part, we saw all the belts on the wall. It looked like he's stepped away from fighting for the most part. It looked like he's more on the business side. We see him walking around in his suits, you know, so it looked like he's going into management or even, you know, ownership, sort of like a promoter type thing, because we see that Damian is in the ring. He knocks this guy out, and Donnie's right there in the suit. So maybe he's
that may be the case. He may be retired from fighting,
right?
And that's what Tessa Thompson's saying.
Maybe
you may have to fight him,
right?
So now we got to look at him going back into training, going back into something that he had let go. He was probably done with it, and you can see right there.
Damian had belts.
He's coming up,
right?
He's coming up. It's not just. That's what I'm saying. He's starting to get a little notoriety. He's starting to get a little money, and that's not enough for him.
Right.
He wants to take down the Creed name. It's personal. He wants to destroy his legacy. He wants to say that I'm better than you.
Right.
And I've always been better than you. This is a fight that's beyond personal. It's woo, Creed 3. Let's go.
Yeah, and I wanted to, trying to figure out, see what that, yeah, right here. See, guy behind him, obviously, Damian's got belts at this point. We see his whole demeanor of his dress has changed.
Got a little money.
Yeah, he got some money. He cleaned up. So obviously this is, you know, a little bit later in the future from when we see Donnie and Damian first meet up again.
Yeah, it was making fun of him before. He had tape around his boots, his shoes.
It was making fun of him because he had an ankle bracelet on. He had an ankle monitor, so it was like, that's cute, making fun of him. And so because, you know, he's on parole or whatever, and I think, you know, he has that in his mindset. He's like, you're gonna talk shit to me, I'm gonna push your shit in and I'm gonna knock you out. And so we supposed to be sparring, and you trying to murder this man in the ring.
And he had no remorse about it either.
No,
absolutely not. Because when they were breaking him up, they was just showing that he really didn't care about how you felt. And the man is focused on getting what's his.
Right. And so I don't know if when they're fighting, when they're sparring, if this guy that he's fighting,
that's duct tape, right? Isn't that duct tape around his boots?
Let me see.
Looks like duct tape around his boots. Which, you know, you got to do what you got to do when you don't have it.
I mean, yeah, it do look like there's some duct tape around the front of it, but they got the ankle monitor on his ankle right here, so you got his boot pulled down. Correct. But yeah, that is definitely duct tape on the front of it, or some masking tape or something. So obviously,
some type of tape.
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, the dude just got out. He might not have a job yet, so Donnie is sort of doing him a favor, letting him come to the gym to train. He might not be able to pay him, so Donnie's thinking
he might have booked him some fights,
right? And so this is like his humble beginnings, but you know, this guy that's making fun of him, I'm wondering, because obviously he's laying the dude out, but when they get into the ring, because we see that he's coming in, he's training hard, he's putting the work in, he starts out, all he has is just basically like a cutoff hoodie, right? He's coming in with a cutoff hoodie, but we see a very quick transition from when he came in with the cutoff hoodie right there. You know, sort of like Mike Tyson. He's really reminiscent of looking like what Tyson used to look like when Tyson came out to the ring.
Tyson used to come out with that towel, that cut beach towel. I was like, oh my God, I need a towel right now.
Just cut it over and drape it over myself.
That's all I need is just go to the gym just like that, embarrassing myself.
But so we see this comparison as he's coming out, probably just starting out, getting into his first fight. And then as soon as we turn, we in his almost probably like his championship attire, and this is probably in the Creed fight where now he's got like his actual trunks, right? You know, this is like main event type thing, and I think this might be the same guy that he was sparring with, and that's why Donnie is like there probably in a suit as his promoter, and so he's looking at him like, bruh, it's like, you know, what is your deal?
No apologies.
None. Absolutely no apologies. None. And I don't know if this dude is, you know, he's you know, obviously, oh boy, got some licks in.
Look at the blood on the referee's shirt. Look at the blood on the referee's shirt. This match is brutal.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Major got a little shiner right there, so he might have got a good punch in, but I don't think this guy's getting up.
No, absolutely not.
Like, no smelling salt. Like, call paramedics.
Yeah, call paramedics.
This guy is out. So it may be personal. It may be personal because, again, that might be Adonis's guy. It might be one of his guys in the camp. But this is gonna be a drag out brawl. This is gonna be brutal. And you got two of the biggest names in the game right now coming together to make this movie happen. And I cannot see how it won't be anything but great.
Right. And so
get your ticket right now. They're not even on sale now. Get your tickets.
The last thing that I want to point out is just this comparison, because we got Adonis standing in the mirror and we see that, you know, they got the clips on the mirror and everything. And we immediately transition into Damien in the same mirror. So it's like the motivations are different, because we, on one side we have the Creed versus Drago fight, but then on the other side is Damien's newspaper clips. So it's like what was and what is, right? It says Damien's his name, Crenshaw team takes Golden Gloves. So like you said, obviously he was good. He could have been one of the best in the world, but because he got locked up, it's got taken from him, and so now Creed is in the spotlight. So like you said, this is an excellent like progression to the story of Creed, and for the movies, just this third installment, it's so personal. You know, before it was Adonis dealing with, you know, his father's legacy and wanting to set off on his own, and then coming back and actually appreciating his father's name and not trying to run from it. The second movie was, you know, basically kind of the same thing that we talked about, you know, with the first few Spider-Man movies, and how Spider-Man inherited Iron Man's villains, you know, Mysterio, Vulture. These are people who were pissed off at Tony, and Peter got the brunt of all of that, and he had to deal with it. So Creed 2 was, he had to deal with Drago, because Drago was trying to make a name for his son because he lost against Rocky, right? So Creed 2 was him dealing with Rocky's old past. This
pretty much
is now he's dealing with his own past. This is Creed coming into Creed's own story. Adonis is dealing with his past. He's got to come to terms with what's going on in his life. Like you said, he's made a name for himself. Obviously, Donnie got money. Donnie then came up. You know, he didn't fought all the fights that he needed to fight. He didn't got all his belts, made his championships. He's well known. Everybody cheering for him, walking through the restaurant, and you see the uneasy look on Damien's face. It's like, you know, just like, what is happening right now? And he's just, I'm already loving this. I'm loving this, even though we don't know all the details of the story, and even if we are correct in everything that we're, you know, theorizing about, I still feel like it's going to be executed.
I hit the mini spoiler warning, like, so you can't be mad.
We always mentioned, it's not a spoiler if it's a theory that you guessed correctly and it came true.
They do pay tribute. You saw the Rocky poster in the back. So they do pay tribute to the great Italian stallion.
They got Apollo back there too.
They got Apollo back. Build your own legacy. I think it's so interesting they have that. You see that Adonis was on his own cover too.
Right. He was on
We're breaking this thing. We're breaking this trailer down, baby.
But no, I'm excited about it. I love it. I feel like this is going to be, like I say, even if we're like guessing all the plot and we're like, we know this story beat for beat, bar for bar, know it front and back. We already know exactly what's going to happen. I still feel like
I chicken hard the first time.
But I still feel like like you say, you have Michael B. Jordan, you have Jonathan Majors, you have Tessa Thompson. They are all going to give phenomenal performances. There's nothing that I don't think that there's anything that we're going to leave this movie and be like, it left me wanting. If anything, it just might leave us wanting a Creed 4.
And I'm all right with that. let's have that rematch because maybe there's some things that we can't answer in this one. But
one thing I love about all of these, all the way from the first Rocky movie going into Creed 3 now, is that you have to, and what they're doing and what I appreciate and I think is funny is that we have to find different ways to train, right? Because of course there's the whole thing, especially with Rocky 4, the whole thing with
the training montage.
Rocky's training montage. He's out in the elements. He's in Russia. He's running up the mountains,
right.
Using the logs, whereas Drago's using machines. It's just basically nature versus technology, right? And so now we see, and every single time you have to have something different. You have your homages back to the traditional Rocky training. So of course we saw in Creed, they had Creed running through, Adonis was running through the street and everything, all of Rocky when he was running through the street. But now here in the trailer, we got the homie out in the forest punching trees. The dude is out here punching trees. Like,
hate nature, hate Mother Nature, just abusing tree. Didn't we start this video with Save the World? This dude out here punching the trees. Golly, man. Just
I love it. I love it. I'm excited. It marches a short, like 6 months away, 7 months away. It's not that far.
Shout out to Michael B. Jordan making his directorial debut from all I know of. No, listen, we talk about this all the time. As a director, there's a certain DNA in your style of directing video. There's a signature in there. For those who know, find it. And for those who don't know, are still looking for it, there's a certain, all the greats have it. So it's going to be interesting to see what Michael B. Jordan's signature is going to be on his film.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same like when Ryan Coogler directs, right? Ryan Coogler is known for his phenomenal long takes. Mm-hmm. Not to say that he's the only one that done it, but I'm saying he has a way that he does his that's just, it's amazing how he takes this take and it looks like a long continuous take. They did it in the first Creed because that's the one that he directed. You got to see Adonis from the locker room, mm-hmm. and you followed him all the way to the ring into the fight. One of the best scenes that they've had in the movie because it took you exactly where you needed to be without taking you out of the mode or the story. And you just get more engulfed into the story because it's not cut. It's just one long. It is cut, but for those who don't know, it doesn't look like it's cut.
And they did it in Black Panther in the casino scene too.
Exactly. So that's his signature thing. Just like other directors, like if you saw The Harder They Fall, and I know we're referencing something else, but that's what we do here at All Things
also
Super.
Starring Jonathan Majors.
Also starring Jonathan Majors, so I'm still on point. The Harder They Fall, there's a scene that when they're shooting, they zoom in, and then they're shooting, they zoom in, and then they're shooting, they zoom. Again, I forget the gentleman's name that directed it, and I'm sorry, please forgive me if you ever see this, it's not intentional, but that's a signature thing. No one else is doing that. That's his thing, and if you see someone else doing it, clearly you're going to reference him because you'll reference who you saw do it first.
Right.
But I've seen him do it first. And it's something that's not complex, but it is something that is signature. So I am interested to see what signature element Michael B. Jordan brings into his film, along with others. Others bring their own signature style. It looks like it's going to be a knockout, pun intended, drag-out fight in this movie. These guys are phenomenal actors, and I can't wait to see them cut loose March 3rd, 2023. Somebody get the smelling salt. This guy is just, he's out.
Dude's not getting up.
He is not getting up. And one of the things that Michael B. Jordan talked about in making the first Creed is that he had to take some shots, like real shots, like he got tagged. And I just wonder, in the making of this, is there similar stories that maybe Jonathan Majors hit Michael B. Jordan, or vice versa? And did they catch that on camera? And are they mad at each other? Don't get me wrong, they're both professionals, but I'm saying, you know, but
sometimes you might slip up a little bit, and you don't move out of the way fast enough, and they coming at you with that swing. It's like, all right,
ain't left, block right. Okay.
After the first time, you're like, okay, yeah, you got me. If that happens again,
I am not coming to your baby shower, because you just that's just you know what you did.
No, this looks amazing. But let us know in the comments below what you think about this trailer for Creed 3. Are you excited? Have you seen the first 2 Creed? Are you up on the Rocky franchise? But this is...
Go see him, because March 3rd is right around the corner. You need to get some backstory in what's going on. Now, I'm not saying that you have to, but I can't see how it wouldn't make this enjoyable.
Right.
To know everything that Adonis went through to get to this point.
Absolutely. But let us know what you think in the comments below. But if you like the video, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that come out. Remember, if you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on any of your favorite podcast streaming platforms. And if you want to join in on the conversation, you can tweet at us at ATSuperPod.
And we like reading the comments.
We love reading.
There should be some comments in this, because God, these guys are about to kill each other. Right there, right there.
It's just the looks. This is gonna be incredible. Oh man, I can't wait. Oh, but March 3rd, 2023, we're gonna be in there like swimwear watching Creed 3.
What?
You can't tell me that you never heard that phrase in there like swimwear.
I heard it. I don't want to be in swimwear attire in a theater.
I mean, it get hot in the South, so even in March.
God damn it, man.
But until next time, we'll see you in the next episode.